Hello everyone, and welcome to a Farming Sim 22 tutorial. Today we're talking about the Platinum expansion, and just to be very clear up front, this will be a high-level overview of the expansion and what's new. This will not go into detail about how to do a lot of the things. Those will come later in their own tutorials. So the first thing we should look at is the map, because this is the biggest, newest, most exciting part. This is Silverrun Forest, and you'll see just by zooming out, it is very forestry heavy. There's actually only 3 farm fields to begin with down here, and the rest is just trees. You'll notice here in the southeast is where most of the action is, so most of the production plants, selling points. This is where your starting area is down here, and then the rest is just forestry and some sawmills. If you look at your starting area, this is if you start on easy where they give you things to begin with. You'll own these 3 large pieces of land and then some wood cutting equipment and stuff just to get going. And that is the new town. I do want to point out, if you want to see all the new things for yourself, in the help menu they've added a couple of very useful sections, one on Silverrun Forest and one on the expansion in general. So for example, there's some new missions on this map like tree marking. There's a hydraulic breaker to get rid of rocks, and then a few things we'll look at in this tutorial. And the expansion, there's a couple new things like yarders and winches. Again, these will be in separate tutorials. And then this we'll look at in a bit, a whole bunch of new product icons. So let's look at production, because that is, there's been a pretty big addition. So if we go to the sell menu, we can actually see these way at the bottom. And you'll notice after stones, there's a whole bunch of new things. Most of these are wood-based, of course, since that is the point of the map. And then there is metal and iron ore, which we'll look at here in a few minutes. And so you'll see furniture, pet furniture, floor tiles, long planks, staircase railings, shingles, all kinds of things to sell. And then there's this new aspect where you have a couple projects you can work on. That's probably my favorite part of this, is to have a goal outside of just making money. So let's go look at the boat and the roller coaster. So the boat yard is down here, and this one you can actually buy, and then when you finish it, you'll actually reap the reward of finishing it. And in the bottom right, you'll see what materials you need for the next step, and those are all things you'll put in your production chain and then bring over here and just drop off. And the same with the roller coaster. You'll see in the bottom right a whole bunch of things to get to the next step. The difference here is that you can't buy it. This is just a community project to get this thing up and looking sharp. So those are your 2 projects if you want to do those instead of just focus on making money. We should look at the mine shaft, since this is new as well. So to get iron ore, you'll go to the mine shaft here. You don't have to buy it. It is just given to you basically on the map. And over here, slowly but surely, iron ore just constantly drops out. These vehicles were here when I started, but you'll just bring up anything that you can unload or like pick things up from the ground, and that will be your iron ore. And then you'll put your iron ore into the iron furnace, and that'll make your metal. And this iron furnace is the only one I couldn't find on the map, so I think this is one you do have to actually buy yourself. All these other new production factories, I was able to find these on the map somewhere, so you can buy them on the map, or of course you can still buy them and drop them if you want. But these are all your new factories: your furniture, your flooring, your pet accessories, your shingles. So those are all your new production points. Let's take a look while we're in this menu at a few other things that are new. Sheds. There's 3 new sheds. There's this large kind of double shed that I like. But then what's really exciting are these 2 here will actually make you money, as well as being a shed, because they are covered with solar panels. And then the other addition are a whole bunch of farmhouses. So you still have one that's pretty cheap, this like nice looking little bus you can live in, or there's just a whole bunch of different looking like nice wood cabin-esque type farmhouses. So those are some of your biggest new buildings you can buy. And we will look now at the shop at what's new. So I'm not going to go through every new tractor, everything like that. When you go through, you'll be able to tell if it's new because it will mark it as Platinum Expansion, which is really nice. Two smaller items that are new are the containers. And you need to make sure you buy the ones that you want for the length of log you want to cut down. But these are auto loading, so it won't be as difficult to load these as it might first appear. And then when you have it loaded, you can either put them on the train if you're a train person, or sell them up here at the container warehouse. And then the other new smaller item is the marking spray. And you buy it just like a chainsaw. It'll show up in your like 1 and 2 or your mouse wheel or whatever it is for your controller. And you can change the marking with the comma button or in the top left, whatever your controller says to change marker. You'll go up to a tree. You have to like own the land and you'll just mark it. Again, this isn't super useful for single player again, because it's just, you know, you and yourself. But if you had friends or if you're doing the missions where you have to mark trees, this might be more useful. And then we'll take one last look in the shop, and this will kind of conclude the video. And if we look at forestry equipment, there's a bunch of new stuff, of course. And over here, you'll have a couple winches. These will help pull trees kind of out of difficult areas. Again, these will be separate tutorials, just outside the scope of the length of this video. There's a yarder. Again, this is to help pull logs sort of out of hilly, valley-ish areas. And then you have some more basic implements, just like transporting logs, some cedars, different kinds of fellers, and a different mulcher. So that isn't every single thing, but those are probably the biggest highlights of the Platinum expansion. I've never been huge into forestry, but I'm really excited to maybe give it a shot, since that is what this entire expansion is for. And yeah, hope that helped. Go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, comment below if you wish. If you have any questions, please ask. I'll do my best to do the research and get back to you. Otherwise, have yourselves a very nice day.